What up? What's up, Steeler Nation? How's everybody doing, man? Is your heart okay? Is everything beating at the right pace or what have you? Is your head not hurting anymore? Have you gotten your breath back? Yeah, that was a crazy one. But it's a win. It is a win. So we're definitely going to discuss it, guys. I got a ton of notes. I mean, if you guys can see how much I'm scrolling, I have a ton of notes. So we're going to get into it. I'm sitting back a little further, guys, because I think the perspective is better, me being further back. Y'all let me know how it looks. I'm always trying to try something new. Make sure you guys can still hear me good, because, you know, the microphone I have is a lot better the closer it is. I know I'm telling you guys too much, but again, you guys are the viewers, so I want you guys to always let me know what's working best for you. Before we dive into it, man, like we always do, a couple of new things that I'm going to do. I'm going to always do this first and foremost now. Subscribe to the channel, man. If you're new here, go ahead and become a part of the home team. Make sure you cut on your notifications and hit the like button. I'm going to remind you guys to do that throughout this show if you like it. If you dislike it, fine. But if you like what you see, thumbs up. Hit the like button, man. It really, really helps me out tremendously. And of course, like we always do, guys, we're going to give an early shout out to those folks who were early in the chat. So we're going to, read a few names. We're not going to read them all, but we'll read a few like we always do. And then we'll have at it, man. Vista Light, Real Facts, my brother Kenyon, I knew he was going to be in here because me and Tony were talking all game. Ali Howard, who is that? Bill C, 117. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How are you today? Robert Ellison. Captain Spartan. Who else we got here? Sippy Boy 302. Who else? Explosive Gang _ Steve 817. Haven't seen that name before, but how are you? Who else we got? I think I said most of you guys that repeat offenders, if you will, early in the chat. Builder's Life. Spencer's in here. Jordan Mid, Chris Castile, and we'll end it with one last name, which is Rajan39. Again, like I said, man, a lot of these guys and girl are here early every week, so a lot of times we're reading the same names. So let's have at it, guys. Let's have at it. Where should we begin? A lot to get into. Well, you guys know where I always begin, right? I always give the first offensive possession and the first defensive possession, and then we go from there. In my format, the way it works for you newcomers, I usually do that, and then I have some takeaways from the game. So there's a list of things that are takeaways, and then I also talk about key moments, and then I'll focus in on a couple players that stood out to me. And then after that, we accept a few phone calls, and we have at it. All right? So, first of all, we kick off again. So we deferred or what have you. We kick off. Biggest thing that was brought to my attention on that drive, man, was Joe Hayden getting called for PI on 3rd and 3. Some people could say it was close, but it happened, okay? It was close enough to where I could understand them, calling it as well, so I can't be too mad at that. And Devin Bush rushes on a 3rd and 12, forces an incompletion, and we are able to get off the field. So those were the biggest things that stood out on that particular drive. But again, remember what I said about the PI, and remember what I'm saying about 3rd down, because you will hear me talk about that once again. First offensive possession. Very first play. What do I notice? We're running a little motion action. We run a little motion, hand it off to Deontay Johnson, and Deontay Johnson fumbles the ball. So once again, Deontay Johnson having problems with ball security, as did another player. We'll talk about another guy who fumbled for the second time in 2 games. I'll be getting to that in a moment as well. But as far as that first drive, Deontay fumbles, which caused the 3 and out. And then I did leave a little note here. I said, we showed motion action early. Something that you guys have heard me ask for. Hopefully it sounds like that, Canada is, is putting a little bit of his imprint on the offense, and we're going to see more of that. I want to keep that going. And then, as far as that drive, Connor had a decent run, man, a strong run on 2nd down, if you guys remember. And then Ben finds Juju on a 3rd down, but we were only able to pick up 8 yards. And, we had to get off the field. So there you have it. Now, let's talk about a couple things really quick, man. key takeaways, and I say really quick, but I have a few things that we're going to spend some time on. First and foremost, too many defensive penalties. Minka, Joe Hayden, who else do I have here? Bush, and Terrell Edmonds. They all were called for some sort of defensive penalty, whether it was pass interference or illegal contact or whatever you want to call it. If I remember correctly, it was mostly pass interference. Can't have that. We cannot have that. Point blank, period. I have really nothing else to say other than we can't have that. Come on, guys. I know it's early. I know there's going to be a little bit of rust. I understand that. But these are the things we're going to have to get under control because we were giving these guys too many opportunities, man. Bailing these guys out. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. And, matter of fact, I missed one because one is popping in my head now. Mike Hilton also had one. Mike Hilton had a late hit on roughing the passer, and I can't remember if that was Driscoll or if it was Locke. Can't remember who was in at the moment, because, we all would know, or you guys that maybe didn't see the game, Locke went out early, on something I'll talk about in the key moments. But too many defensive penalties, man. And to kind of speed this along, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to spend too much time on the takeaways. I don't want to analyze each and everything. I just want to throw it out there, and we'll discuss it a little bit later. And I think that's going to help me control the tempo and the time of the show. It's second week for me, too. The next big takeaway I had, Ben having accuracy and timing issues early. We're still seeing it. But again, it's early. This guy missed the season. He's just getting back into regular speed. There wasn't any real preseason moments for him to test out the flow and speed of the game. This is week 2. You're going to have that. But again, it's something to talk about. His timing and the accuracy haven't been 100%. I don't expect it to be. There were some inaccurate passes that we saw in this game and some off timing and things like that. But he did make some decent throws, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, another takeaway. Speaking of Ben, he almost threw an interception in the first quarter. If you guys remember that, it was underthrown to Deontay Johnson and the rookie. I don't remember this guy's name for the Broncos, but number 23 undercut it and he dropped it. It was an underthrown ball and he dropped the interception, so that could have taken points off of the board right there. We still play zone a lot on third down. What is going on with that? What's going on with that? Now, let me be the first to admit, I was telling my father-in-law Leonard this as we were watching the game. Listen, I'm not an NFL coach, okay? And I'm the first one to say that you can't call zone all the time. You can't call man all the time. But what you can do is have a good balance. What you can do is limit the amount of predictiveness, if that's a word. I don't know if that's a word. I might have just made that up. But you can limit the amount of how predictable you are by mixing and matching. The Steelers seem to be very vanilla at times, especially on third and long. We have a bad habit and a bad case of relying on the zone. And what is the problem with zone coverage, some people may ask? No, it's not a problem to run zone. Zone works from time to time. We've seen it work. We saw it work in the game. But the issue with zone coverage is if the front is not getting pressure, receivers are taught to work the zone and find a spot in the zone. Find the holes. Sit in the hole. And a lot of times it's pre-scripted because you know why? You're predictable. So you know what can happen? Matter of fact, hold on. Randy Fiedner, come in here. Let me talk to you for a second. Well, in a minute, Fiedner. Bring Butler first. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Fiedner. But Butler, Keith Butler, come on in the office. Let me talk to you really fast. Come on in here and sit down. Keith Butler, do you know what happens when you're very predictable? And when people like myself can sit down from afar in this cozy living room and I can look at the TV and I can say, don't run zone here. You know why? Because if I was the offensive coordinator going up against you, now you're so predictable. I know exactly what you're running. So not only are my receivers going to have the wherewithal to sit in the hole of the zone, we're going to call that pre-play. Like, we already know before we go hike, we already know that we're going to find the soft spot, because chances are Steelers are going to come out in zone. And we saw it so many times, Mr. Butler. Oh, hold on. Hey, Mike T, don't come all the way in the office, but come to the door, because I need you to hear this. Come on, Coach T. Come on. Just stand right there. I need you to overhear this, Coach T. I saw a play call sheet in your hand, sir. Now, I'm not going to put all the blame on you, because you have a defensive coordinator and this guy right here who's in the office. So I'm going to keep you on the outside. But I got to give you some of the blame too. Stop sitting in that zone when y'all see what's happening repeatedly as we're giving up third down conversions. Because guess what? There was a series, and I can't remember exactly what point it was in the game, but there was a series where it was a 3rd and 8. We ran man, and we got them off the field. You know why? Because we were getting pressure, and the pressure forced the ball out quick, and we actually, believe it or not, Steelers fans, in case you guys didn't see it, we actually did a press. We pressed the slot receiver. We did press man, which also takes the timing off. Combination with pressure, the ball is going to sail, and you're off the field. I'm just saying, Mr. Butler, why don't you mix that in a little more? Stop being so predictable with sitting in zone. Do I have to remind you of the Saints game once again from a few years ago? Do I have to remind you of that again? All right, go and get out of here, man. But Coach T, way to keep the team together, but I just need you to overhear these conversations. All right, let's keep it going, guys. What else we got? What else we got as a big takeaway? Tyson Alu. Let me tell y'all something. Is Kevin Colbert, is he standing outside the office? Don't worry about it. We'll tell him about it later. I can't give Colbert all the credit here because of Steelers didn't really have a lot of cap to work with. We all knew Javon Hargrave was going to be gone. And this is not nowhere near me saying anything bad about Jay Wobble. I love Jay Wobble, man. I miss him. I wish him nothing but success, and I do miss seeing him out there. But I got to give the GM and the coaching staff a little bit of credit, man, because they identified that, you know what, I think this guy will be able to hold things down for us the way we play defense. We're not often in base, so that traditional nose tackle position is not as, it's not as much demand for it. But we have a veteran here. Let's re-sign him. We brought him in. He played well. Let's sign him again for a few more years. And we think this guy can do it. And is he not? Alu showing up, man. You see him in the run game. I believe he got another sack today, if I'm not mistaken. If my count is right, if I remember correctly, I think the Steelers as a total had 5 sacks. I'll pull up the stats, guys, before the show is over so we can get all of our facts in order. But, man, Alu is showing up. That's all I want to say. He's showing up. And the very next line I have here is Cam Hayward, man. Listen, it's not always about the flash. I try to tell general football fans that all the time. A lot of times the general football fan doesn't look at the minutia. They don't pay attention to the little minor details and what's really happening, right? Cam Hayward is been so disruptive these last 2 weeks. Man, look at how many hits on the quarterback the defense had. And Cam Hayward was a big part of that quite often. Devin Bush was a big part of that quite often. Bud Dupree was a big part of that quite often. Even seen to it quite often. Vince Williams. Pressure on the quarterback was there. There were some pockets when we didn't seem like we was getting as much pressure. But listen, it's an NFL team, man. You make adjustments. But, man, Cam Hayward was being so disruptive. And I got to just, got to say his name, man. Here's another one I got for y'all. Offense goes very conservative with 4 minutes and 41 seconds before the half. Do y'all remember that? Hold on. Randy Fiedner, now it's your time. Come on in here. You probably should, you know what you should start doing, Randy, every week? Just go ahead and come on in here. Just go ahead and come in the office. Because I'm probably going to talk to you every week. Come on and sit down, Mr. Fiedner. Randy, I have a question for you. Even the commentators were saying the Steelers would want to take advantage of the young cornerbacks out there for the Denver Broncos. Ben Roethlisberger had shown some pretty good success. You know, he was doing these little short outs and things like that. You know, clearly the rookie corners or whoever they had on our receivers just really weren't going to be able to do much by themselves today. So when Ben got the look he wanted, he was picking them apart. We get the ball back. There's 4 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first half. So I got two questions for you. Because this is a question that might even be beyond you. Because this is something that's plagued the Steelers for a long time that I don't quite understand. This is something that I've always compared the Steelers to the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, when they get you, they got you. You understand what I'm saying? When they get you, they got you. They gonna keep putting points on the board. Remember with Brady, they might run a trick play on you. When they got you, they got you. They don't let their foot off the gas. So Fiedner, this might go beyond you, but you're the guy now, so I gotta ask you. Why do you go so conservative at the wrong time of the game, sir? Put this team away. Why do we... What do I mean by conservative? Y'all remember on that drive, we ran the football and ran the football and ran the football? The run game wasn't working early. I'm not on the staff, but I said in the pre-game show for you guys who saw it, the Denver front is their strong suit. Did I not turn out to be right in this game? And I'm not taking credit for that. Everybody saw it with their own eyes. Where was their strong point? The interior. Where were they weak at? On the outside. And at the quarterback position. So why, sir, after having such success passing the ball, and I know you don't pass all the time, but why now do you get conservative at 441? The only pass that I give you is you're still trying to keep the run, pass balance, and you want to work the clock a little bit, like Ben Roethlisberger did last week in the 2-minute drive. Beautiful. Didn't really leave any time on the clock. But why this time, you just come out and you just run, and we get nothing? And I think that was after a turnover, was it? Or am I thinking about another part of the game? But I know there was also a part when we had a turnover and we didn't do anything with it. It might have been this one. That's probably going to be in my key moments. I'm just looking at my takeaways now. But my takeaway is we still seem to be very conservative in spots. And you cannot do that. You have to score points when you can score points and try all you can to score points. Because let me let you guys in on a little secret. Here's the swing. The Steelers gets the ball back to start the second half, right? So if you score or get any points before the half and you get the ball back, you got a chance to increase your score even more. And then you pretty much put the team away. But no, not the Steelers. Steelers want to make it interesting. Fiedner, just go, man. Because if you stay here, I swear I'm going to say something that I might regret. Just go. Just go. Here's another takeaway. We're giving up deep shots down the field, man. I'm not liking it. I love our defense, but we're giving up some deep shots down the field, man. And I'm not even going to wait for the key moments in the game to talk about this one. Joe Hayden. Joe. That's all I'm going to say. You look like an average Joe today. Just stand at the door. You don't have to come in here, but I want you to hear this. You looked like an average Joe out there today, Joe. That's all I'm going to say. We giving up too many shots down the field, like 20 plus yards. I'm not liking that. And again, it's early. Listen, I'm not going to be overly critical. It's early. Let's keep that in mind, folks. It's early in the season. Fresh off of no training, no real preseason or off season. I get it. But we have to point out these things, because if these things are still lingering later on, we can come back and say we never fixed those problems. See what I'm saying? Here's another takeaway for you guys. Boy, we found ourselves a kick return. I tell you that. I gotta take a sip of water on that one. Yeah. Little Ray. Hey, Ray. We found ourselves a kick return. I tell you that much. And Deontay Johnson is out there talking about hold my beer, and as the punt returner. Too bad it got called back, but we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, it's good to see in consecutive weeks that we have had a start beyond the 30-yard line. And not only that, we've had 2 returns that we all were probably sitting on the edge of our seat like, oh, he might. What's up, Ray? Salutes to you, sir. I have nothing to say to you but one of these. Let's see what we got. I already talked about the play calling on offense, and as you can tell, guys, you can see my thought process as I'm watching the game. It builds. I hate to get to this one, but we got to. James Conner, Jalen Samuels, Anthony McFarland. Do you guys see Benny Snell? Is he still in there? Tell him come here, please. Tell him come here. Benny, how's it going, brother? Great week last week, right? Showed up. You fumbled the football, but you got 113 yards. You did a good job, man, in relief of Connor. Proud of you. Now, shut the door for me real quick, because this might get a little... Benny Snell, what is your problem, man? Listen, I give you a pat on the back and to tell you, hey, guy, things like this happens. But then you turn around and do it again. And this time it cost us. So not only did you affect yourself, meaning us focusing on your effort, you cost the team in a big way. What's the problem? What is it? I don't recall us having these fumble situations last year. I don't understand, Benny. Listen, I really like you, man. I think that you're going to be a part of this team for quite a long time, and you got what it takes. But not if you putting the football on the field, because guess what? And I don't want to cause no division in the locker room. We got a young kid that suited up today that we didn't play. But he might be looking for an opportunity. So you're best to get yourself together. And you can go on out of here. And on your way out, send your boy Deontay Johnson in here. Go send him in here. Is he coming? Come on in here, DJ. How's it going, man? What am I going to? What do I have to talk to you about? You already know, right? Context clues would tell you why I brought you in here if I just talked to your boy Benny Snell. Yes, you guessed it. Stop dropping the football, man. What is the deal here? Because both times that you've done it, could have severely cost us. Listen, man, you a heck of a talent, brother. Love what you do on the field. I love your route running. I love the catches you made today. And how I love your effort on the punt return. Not only just the touchdown that got called back, but that other one when you was shaking and baking and moving and grooving. Yeah. But I don't care about none of that if you can't keep the ball in your hand. Because you know what you have me doing every week so far? Every time you have the ball in your hand, I'm like, watch the ball. Ask father-in-law Leonard. He hears me say it every time. Oh, watch the ball. I'm thinking you're going to fumble. Almost every time. Especially on that second punt return when you was shaking and baking. I just knew the ball was going to get knocked out. Why do I feel that way? Get yourself together. Because there's another young bull that primarily plays on the outside. They look like he ready to play. Oh, we're going to talk about him too. Man, going out of here, man. Get yourself together, DJ. That's all I got to say. Let's see what else we got, guys. And we deep, man. Y'all got me rambling and talking way too much. We're already at 25 minutes. I want to save some time for the callers. Let's see what else we got here, man. Got a lot. Bear with me. Another takeaway. Special teams unit is looking good, man. And the young bull that I just gave a tease at. Do y'all see your boy Chase Claypool out there on special teams? Hold on. Let me get the numbers. But if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was 2, but Kenyon corrected me and said we believe Chase Claypool had 3 special teams tackles. Do y'all see that boy out there? Boy's hungry. Let's see. Let's take a look at these stats, guys. Let's see what we got here, man. I'm not 100% sure that it shows on the NFL, the app, the stats. I would think it does. Yeah, if I go to teams, let me see. I don't know if it does or not, but let's see if it shows up as a defensive tackle. So if I can't get it, man, if one of you guys can confirm the number, I'd greatly appreciate it because I don't know if it's going to show that. Yeah, here it has Chase Claypool. It's not showing any numbers for his tackles. So again, it probably doesn't show here. It might show on the next gen stats, but I'm not going to hold you guys up. But trust me, I know for sure it was 2 because he's the gunner. But if one of you guys can confirm that for me, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. This boy is yeah, he's looking like a baller. Let's just say that. He's looking like a baller. Back to the notes, man. Was there anything else that stood out? I love the special teams being, aware when old boy bobbled the kick and they get the safety there. That was nice. Turned out that it really helped us. Those 2 points really did help. All right, so I think that's all. Oh, Coach T, come back to the door. Matter of fact, Mr. Tomlin, come sit down, man. Listen, I usually don't have to talk to you like this, but wait a minute. I can't let this go, sir. Coach T, how are you? Listen, man, I love what you do. I think you've been great for the Steelers. I still have you as one of the best coaches in the NFL. Yes, I said it. I know there's some people that are going to disagree with me, but I don't care. But, man, can you please explain to me, Coach T? Listen, I know everybody has strengths and weaknesses. But why is your weakness time management and challenges? Last week, I wanted to talk to you last week, man, but I forgot. I wanted to talk to you about not burning them timeouts, man. When you tackle Saquon Barkley for a loss and 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, again, conservative. So not only were we conservative today on offense at 4:41, we also do it on defense apparently. But, I gave it a pass because Ben Roethlisberger played Ben ball and beautiful 2-minute warning. So I couldn't say nothing because I look like a dummy complaining when something great happens, right? But I have to point it out. But today, sir, why did you challenge that catch? Listen, I don't like when people grasp for straws. You're just trying to find something. It was clear the man had 2 feet in. Yeah, he bobbled it. But listen, if we can see it on the replay at home, whoever's on that staff, and I'm not going to put it all on you, Tomlin, but you need to be aware, whoever is the one that buzzes down to you, or if you guys are looking up at that giant screen and you decide to challenge, not the time to do it. Here's the reason why. Number 1, it was clear. It was close, but it was clear. That's one reason why you don't do it. Number 2, the Broncos are driving. Let's just suppose they get a touchdown. Then guess what? We only have 1 timeout to work with. And this dude went out of bounds, right? So the clock is even stopped. So the double whammy would have been, well, the double whammy was, it just turned out that we got, they didn't score. But the double whammy could have been, you lost the timeout on a bad challenge, clock already stopped for you anyway, so you didn't need a timeout, and it was a first down. And if they would have scored, if they would have scored and we would have got the ball back and we ran out of time, boy, you would have got crucified. But that's all. Nice to meet you, sir. Have a nice day. You're 2-0. You're 2-0. I'm not going to yell, but I got to bring it up. All right, guys, let's get to the key moments, man. Then I'm going to try to zip through this so we can get some calls in, man, before, too much time has passed. Key moment, Deontay Johnson fumble, first and foremost. That was, come on, we already talked about it, but we have to say it. Because, again, like I said, I like you guys to see how I chart, like how I take my notes, so you can kind of follow my brain, if you will. I said early in that game, remember on the first couple possessions by the Broncos, especially the second drive, motion was allowing the holes to open up for the run game. Woo, they was gashing us for a moment. And I was telling Leonard, because, Leonard behind me was saying, what was going on? I say behind me because I'm weird, guys. I sit kind of close to the TV. Don't ask why. I feel like I'm more connected. It's crazy, I know. But I sit up there and take my little notes, and I turn around and talk to Leonard, blah, blah, blah. So I said, Leonard was behind me, and he was like, what's going on? Why we stopped the run last week, and now? I said, well, a couple things you got to consider. It's a different team, different scheme. You can't just compare how your defense plays one team versus another. And I said, number two, you also have to understand Munchak being on that staff, so they probably got some couple little tricks up their sleeve. Also, the motion. Clearly, the motion, them running them motion and things like that was opening the backside like nobody's business. And we were giving up some gashes. And it's weird because they kind of stopped doing that. Go figure. But I noted that early. The Steelers caused a fumble on the second drive as well. TJ gets pressure and causes a Lock to fumble, and Bud finishes him off and knocks the ball out, and then Hilton scoops it, and the Steelers take points off of the board. That was huge, and there you have it. Lock goes out early, and it's unfortunate, man. I hate to see guys get hurt, but I remember talking to Leonard. I said, I think it's got to be a shoulder issue, because you could see his throwing hand, the one the ball got knocked out, the way he landed, his shoulder kind of buckled. So I didn't know how serious it was, but I figured that's what it was. And then, of course, they come back and they said it was a shoulder injury. But, again, hats off to the monster on our defense and T.J. Watt being ridiculously disruptive. I mean, this dude is almost becoming unblockable at times. He initiates that. Okay, gets around, trips up Lock. Lock is stumbling. So T.J. and Bud probably should both get the half sack there. Bud comes, lays the boom on him. Ball's out, and Mike Hilton is there to scoop it up. So that was a beautiful thing to see as well. Let's see what else we got. We score off the turnover. That was huge. That was something that we don't consistently do. And when there's a turnover, you're supposed to get points out of it. So that was great. Lock goes out for the game. Fowler gives up a sack on 3rd and 18, gives them good field position. Then I said, not the best kick by Colquitt on that play. Y'all remember that? That was a horrible kick by Dustin Colquitt, man. But listen, get yourself together. And then the Broncos get 3 points out of it. Mike Hilton had a sack and a nice tackle on 3rd down in concession. So he had a great sack. And then also, like I said, he was able to get a great tackle as well. As sounds like my son is in the back. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Give me a second, guys. Well, I'll be. I thought he was over at Leonard's house, and him and his cousin is in the backyard here, loud as can be. So sorry about that. I had to tell him to be quiet. Let's see what else we got going on here. 2 batted balls in a row kills a promising drive. And that happened to Ben about 3 or 4 times today. But on that one drive, 2 of those balls, batted down. And that was a very promising drive, man. So let's get to the next thing. Deontay Johnson returns the punt. Beautiful. I mean, it's great to see this dude's his will. You know what I mean? You can see some guys just have the will to do it. And he gets in the end zone, but unfortunately it gets called back. So I was crushed by that, man. But I was very encouraged at the fact that it happened, right? Very encouraged by that. But then, very next play, who shows up? Chase Claypool. I mean, Chase Claypool dusted this boy. Straight go, outside release, runs right past old boy, and Ben puts the ball on the money. And not only did Chase Claypool house it, kept his feet in bounds. You saw his concentration where he caught it, slowed up a bit, towed the sideline to the heezy. 84 yards. Thing of beauty. Excuse me. Because when is the last time we've seen that? James Washington has had some deep touchdowns, but not like that. You understand what I'm saying? The last time we saw something like that was probably, was it Sammy Coates? Was Sammy Coates the last guy that we would throw it deep to like that and he kind of catches it on the run? It used to be Martavis Bryant, but I'm just trying to remember here. I could be forgetting somebody, but understand what I'm saying. Usually it's James Washington that just gets deep balls and, you know, he wins the one-on-one and things of that nature. Or like the one that ducked through to him last year against Cincinnati, I believe it was, where he comes across the middle, mush this dude out the way. Like, James Washington has some long touchdowns. But if I'm not mistaken, we don't get them bombs like that. Now, I know Juju has had some, but yeah. Juju has some. I mean, you know, the 297 yarders. And those were kind of quick passes, though. So I guess what I'm saying is it's been a long time since we've seen an outside bomb like that, outside the numbers. That's what I'm saying. Because even Juju's touchdowns has been like him. You know, like Ben gets it to him, he catches a skinny post or something like that, and then he does the work. So I'm talking about throwing the ball outside the numbers. It's been a while since we've done that and had a guy that could just boom, went off the line and go, and I'm going to drop back and throw you the football. Good thing to see right there. Great thing to see right there. What else we got? Joe Hayden gives up a 45-yard strike to Sutton. I already talked about that. Here's another thing. And I think this was the 441 point. I think this is what I was talking about. The Broncos attempt a 58-yard kick late in the second half. And I think this was at that 441 point. Now, you got to look at coaching too. I don't understand why Denver did that. I get they want to try to get something going, but the way the Steelers were moving the ball and, you know, kind of having their way with the defense in the first half, why would you give Ben the ball right there if you miss? It's a 58-yarder. I know you got McManus there, but again, it's in Pittsburgh. It ain't the best place to kick. I thought that was a little silly. Probably should have punted it and tried to pin us, right? But then right after that, that's when we went conservative. We went run, and we got nothing out of the field position. And I believe that was the 441 point. Because you see, again, my notes are in sync, but I have two sections. I have key moments and I have takeaways. So there you have it. I don't get it. Joe Hayden gets an interception off the tip drill, puts us in great field position again. It's funny how the defense always put us back where we needed to be after the offense had, you know, didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was twice in the game where the defense was able to get us back where we needed to be. That was one of them off the tip drill. Should have been a catch by the receiver, but nonetheless, you're in the right spot. You get rewarded. We get a field goal for it. All right, now really quick, guys, we're going to talk about the second half, and then I swear I'm going to open it up to calls, and then we'll get out of here. Bad pick by Big Ben, man. Bad pick on the first drive. Bad decision. Steelers were able to hold to a field goal there, so that was a key moment. But Ben had an eternity back there. When you got that much time and ain't nobody open, don't force it, Ben. And listen, let me take a sip of water really quick, man, because I got to calm down. I'm not going to be overly critical, right? Because that's Ben being Ben. like I've always said, Ben is like Brett Favre. Sometimes they're going to try to trust their ability too much. Then they're going to make a bad decision. But that was just a bad time to do it because that was a momentum swing. You know what I'm saying? Throw that ball away. When you got that much time, let it go. Live another down. Or live another series, whatever it is, even if it's third down. Bad time to throw an interception right there, man. And he throws one, and there you have it. What else we got after that? Devin Bush gets beat by Noah Fant and also gets beat on the 2-point conversion. So again, I'm sorry, hold on. I skipped ahead, but I'm gonna come right back to that. Well, let's talk about that, and then I'll go back to my previous point. Devin Bush was getting toasted. We all know that Devin Bush's stature makes it a disadvantage for him. He's not that tall in comparison to tight ends. But the things I was seeing today ain't really had nothing to do with height. It just had something to do with where you were. If you could keep up. On like the little corner route, I mean, man, Devin Bush, you got to get over on that. You got to play that a little tighter. It was almost like, and again, I know a linebacker's kind of, inside linebackers line more inside. But you really just let him freely run up and, go to the post, to the corner, to the pylon there. Easy touchdown. And then they come right back at you. Come right back to you on a 2-point conversion, and you give it up again. Now, here's where I would challenge Keith Butler and Tomlin, the whole staff. Because we have found some better ways later and after that to not get Devin Bush, one-on-one against Fant. Now, again, I know you don't want to go away from Bush so soon because, you got to give him a chance. He has speed. He's capable. But after he's getting beat in the game, there's a such thing as making an adjustment. It's not that you've given up on this guy, but maybe we should try something else. Maybe try a safety on him or something like that. And again, no Sean Davis again today. And can't remember if he was inactive or not. I didn't check and see. But I wonder why we're not seeing more safeties out there. And I think we are sticking to keeping Sutton. Sutton plays some safety today, at least rotated back like a safety. And maybe they're comfortable with that. But what I'm saying is, with us having so many pieces, I want to see us be a little unpredictable in personnel also, right? Because you don't want to get to a point when they see you have a certain, person on the field, we know what they're doing. I don't want to get to a point when Sutton is out there, we kind of know what the coverage is going to be, especially if you see him run back. So I want to see some mixing and matching. Maybe, throw a 3 safety set out there and I know he's not the best cover man, but let a Davis or Marcus Allen or somebody like that go up against the tight end to see if he can have a little better position. I don't know. I don't know if he can or he can't. Or, I know y'all gonna say it. Let Edmonds come down and play intermediate routes like that. Edmonds didn't play too bad today to me. He's not the best cover guy in the world, but Edmonds didn't have a bad game. He played like Edmonds plays, and I don't think he played too horribly today. There was actually a couple plays where Edmonds had good coverage. You know what I'm saying? There was good coverage, particularly there was a throw to Melvin Gordon that, if Gordon catches that, it might be a touchdown. So, yeah, I don't understand what was happening there, man. You stuck with Bush, and I get it. Sometimes the personnel that you come out on the field, you're going to acquire these matchups, and you get caught out there. I get it, but I would like to see us try to mix and match a little bit, man, especially when a guy like Allen is now being used more like a linebacker. Let's see what else we got, guys. Oh, let me go back to my point here. Before that, I had wrote down Steelers turn the ball over on 4th and 2. Why take... Tomlin, I'm glad you left already because I was going to bring you back in here. And I forgot about this one. Why did we take a timeout? Remember this sequence. It's 4th and 2. Ben tried to draw them off, right? With plenty of time. But you take a timeout and then turn around and go for it. Now, understand what I'm saying. Some of you guys might disagree. That's fine. But let me give you where I'm going with it and see if y'all agree or not. You should have had a play ready. You should have had a play ready. Like, if you're going to call a timeout and then just come right back out there and go for it anyway, I just feel like, you give the defense more time to get prepared. If you should always have a check play in your mind or 2 plays called where you're saying, yo, if we get this look, we're going to go with this. Now, I get it. Some people are going to say, well, they called the timeout because they want to talk about it. Okay, but then the defense gives a chance to talk about it also. I don't know. That's a tricky one because I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I just didn't like how that played out because we had so much time on the clock. Let Ben just stay out there and run the plays. You know, if you're gonna go for it, to call a timeout right there, and then you come right back out there and go for it anyway and still don't get it. That could have been a huge swing. Could have been a huge swing right there. What did I have after that? I had the Bush stuff after that. Ben being Ben when he finds Deontay Johnson on that touchdown. That was Ben ball right there. Scrambles out to the right side, keeps his head downfield, makes an amazing throw. And Deontay Johnson actually makes a tough catch because, you know, it was coverage on him, but he's able to wrestle the ball away for the most part, and we scored. That was beautiful. Beautifully executed. Like plays like that one, the throw to Chase Claypool lets me know that Ben's arm is back. You know, the only thing that is, you know, I'm seeing early, and it's expected, his accuracy is not as sharp. Let's just say that. He hasn't been as sharp. But he showed once again, some throws that I was like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with that elbow. Great play right there. Snell fumbles the ball, turns it over to Denver. We already talked about that. The Broncos drive down and score to make it a 5-point game. Then Deontay dropped, big drop on 3rd and 7 where it wasn't the best throw by Ben, a little bit behind him. But again, guys, they even tell you in Pop Warner, if the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to catch it. And then the Steelers blitz Edmond on a 4th and 2 late in the 4th quarter. That was a huge play for us to get the ball back. That was a huge adjustment there, right? We decided to bring Edmonds. And I like when we do little mix and match things like that. I don't think we had blitzed Edmonds the whole game. So that was a great chess match right there. Then the back didn't pick him up. And I mean, it was a clean sack on Driscoll. So that was huge. That pretty much won the game for us. And then old James Conner seals the game on a 59-yard run. And I wouldn't be right if I didn't imagine this. What if that was Anthony McFarland? Oh, touchdown! James, he just ain't got the speed, but we all know he ain't a speed back. So it wasn't even about him scoring there. It was great to see. Good block by Derek Watt. So both Watt brothers contributed. Great block on that play. And I mean, the hole just opened up and James Conner did the rest. And a 59-yard scamper to pretty much end the game. That was beautiful. But I do want to ask one question. We didn't see any of Anthony McFarland. He was active, but we didn't see him. So I want to know what the plan is, man. What's the deal? He was active, as we, assumed from yesterday, his tweet, but he didn't touch the ball at all. We didn't even see him. So I'm interested. And the funny thing is Jalen Samuels was active too. So we actually have 4 running backs. So I want to know, I really want to know what the Steelers' intentions were. What was he there for? Was he there to be a secondary return man or what? Well, clearly he wasn't a part of the offense because, again, when it wasn't Snell or Conner, Jalen Samuels got one carry or so. So I'm curious to know what the move was to activate him. Did they do it just because you're now able to have more guys? And the more the merrier, now you can dress 48? I don't know. But all in all, guys, before I get the calls, man, I talked for a long time. Apologize for that. Before I grab the calls here, let me just say this as well. It wasn't the best game by the Steelers. It wasn't. It wasn't the best game. It wasn't the cleanest game, but we won. That's one thing we could take away. A lot of times we lose these games. The fact that we still won the game is encouraging. That we're playing semi-bad at times and winning. I can live with that because you would expect that the team will get better as the time goes on. Still early, but I feel better being 2-0 instead of 0-2, which we've been accustomed to seeing the last few years, right? We always talk about, man, they get going late. Now, at least we're not playing the greatest at all times, but we're winning. We're finding ways to win, so that's encouraging. All right, guys, y'all know the routine, man. I ate up a lot of time there. I promise I won't eat up a lot of time on the replies, but I have to ask you guys to keep it short. In and out. State your biz, in and out, so we can get all the calls in. We got 4 calls right now. Don't make me have to cut you short. And don't laugh at my headphones, man. I'm so upset, guys. I love these headphones, and it broke. So I got it a little taped up right there, but ain't no shame in my game. I'm going to keep using these bad boys until they don't work no more, because these are my favorite headphones. So I'm really upset about that. All right, we got 5 in queue now. So, guys, I'm going to have to limit everybody to about a minute. Okay, I can't sit here forever. All right, let's get it in, man. Area code 651. What you got for us?
What's up, Sim? How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Overall, I mean, we got away with the win, but we had some dark spots. One, I got to say my boy Claypool doing his thing all over the field. So I think we're going to see more of him.
Yeah.
We got to do a better job of splitting them carries, man, with Connor and Snell. And I think that's one of the reasons he's going to those fumbling issues. He's not warming up the way they like to warm Connor up. Maybe excuse, maybe not. But I also feel like in the third quarter, we should have came out and used Snell and McFarland more. Mix it up with those two guys to add some extra plays, because McFarland, you don't have to warm him up. One play, he can be out of here.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. I just think we kind of got boring in the third, and that's really what opened that game up. So we got to do a little better with our play calling. Dotson showed up, man. Like,
he did.
I didn't hear his name much at all today. I mean,
Yeah.
He looked real good to me over there. That means somebody's job might be taken already. So, and Deontay, man, you got to hold on to the balls, like you said, man. He had a big game, though. He had 8 catches, maybe over 100 yards or so.
He did all right.
He had a pretty big game, so he just got to take advantage of every time. I say that. And one last thing, and I want to ask you this. I want your opinion on it. So, it was a catch-22. We lost Ben, but had we not lost Ben, we wouldn't have got Minka, right? So, my question is, and nobody talks about that, but I'm like, yeah, we got Minka, but we couldn't have had them both. So, my question is, had we not got Minka, would you rather have Minka, or would you rather have Joe Burrow? If you think on it now, like if we didn't take Minka, being out, whatever, would you rather have him or Joe Burrow? Because I think we'd have been in position for it, because our defense was still pretty bad. We got sacks, but we were getting ate up in the back end. So we wanted to know, which one would you rather have? All right, thanks.
Man, that's a good question. Let me be short with it, guys. And again, I got to ask you guys, we got to be faster with that, man. We got to get the calls a lot shorter. Yikes. I'm going to be honest. I can say this quick, and it's not an emotional answer. I'd rather have Minka. The reason why is Minka solidifies that defense, holds things together better than most free safeties that we've had in recent years, and I fear that it may have taken us a while to get a safety of that caliber. It'd be great, if you have a guy like Joe Burrow. We expect him to be good, but think it back to the Killer Bee era. When we go get blasted by New England in the AFC Championship. That's all I can think about. So I would rather have that defense solidified and then find a quarterback, or deal with your veteran right now while we try to find another one. That's who I would rather have. Area code 803, what you got for us?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. I have to reiterate a little bit. Dotson and Okorafor on that right side did do a pretty good job today, so I have to give them some hats off with Claypool. I would love to see us take at least 2 or 3 more deep shots with Claypool, take advantage of he and Washington's abilities on that. The one thing that kind of disappoints me, when we got down there after the Joe Hayden interception, I would like to see us utilize the fullback more, give you better lead block, better short yardage running. And I would like to see him being used more in those situations. We got a lot to clean up. We're 2-0, and that's unusual to be 2-0 for us, because usually we're a little bit slow started. But we are 2-0, and there's a lot to look at. But, like I said, we got to clean up and make improvement. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. And thank you for commenting about Dotson, because I meant to say it on the last call, but I don't want to be too long with the responses. But let me say this about those guys. I'm going to save that for Tuesday. Once I have the all 22, I want to go back and really hone in on the offensive line. Because you watch it during the game, but I really want to pay close attention to Dotson and Okorafor. And yeah, I think they had a pretty solid game, and definitely would love to see Derek Watt get more. Let's go back to old Steelers from time to time. When it's time to run, let's line up in the eye and let it go, man. I would love to see more of that. So yeah, because again, the 59-yard run at the end, Derek Watt got a great block. So yeah, I agree with you, man. Let's move on. Area code 678. What you got for us?
Thank you for taking my call, Sim. Piggybacking right real fast off of what you was talking about Dotson. He sealed the edge real nice for Connor to get that 59-yarder. And he was the first one downfield along with Claypool to help pick him up. I thought him and Chooks had a nice game. As a matter of fact, the whole game, they held it down over there, especially for them just be thrown in there like that. I know we only have a minute. Tomlin has to do a better job. You're right, Sim. Tomlin has to do a better job at not only play calling, clock management, because at some point, man, somebody's going to be very frustrated that we lost the game that we shouldn't have lost because, eventually that's going to come back to hurt you, man. You can't be doing that type of stuff. You got too many years in the game, and then, like you were saying just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to get off here, I thought somebody was hired to help him out with, instant, or not instant replays, but, what I'm trying to say. But he got it. I mean, that was clearly inbound.
Come on,
man. I'm glad to be 2-0, but like that stuff against like Baltimore or Kansas City or Tennessee in a playoff game, man, Tomlin will be at the crib. We'll be at your crib, young man.
Yep.
Thanks for taking my call, Sim.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for the great insight there. Yeah, I mean, it's inexcusable to some degree, even though, again, I like Coach Tomlin, but two things can be right at the same time. I got to criticize him in areas like that. It's just, like you said, it could be a critical moment in a playoff game or a game to get you to the playoff, and it comes down to something like that. Shoot, that would have been a critical moment today because I want to get these AFC wins when we can. And if we would have lost that game, man, if it would have came down to a last-minute drive and we didn't have enough time because we lost the time, boy, oh boy. Area code 505, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? How's it going?
Good, what's going on?
All right, so I'm very happy with the win, but this is ridiculous. We should have blown this team out the water today.
Yes.
They're not in the same league as us, and we let them come back into the game. We always make silly, stupid mental mistakes all the time, and it gets teams back in the game. Like I said last week, the Ravens are going to kill us playing like that.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson, he almost fumbled again. He almost did it again. And our defense at times, was actually very predictable. That Mike Hilton blitz, eventually they were able to catch on to that. I mean, like, I'm happy that we're 2-0. That's amazing, but I'm not happy with how we're leaving these teams that have no business being in the same building as the Pittsburgh Steelers in games like this with us. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. The Ravens are going to kill us. The Patriots would kill us. Even the Titans would kill us at this rate. You know what? Even Houston, they might actually beat us playing like this.
We got them next week.
We're just so much better than this. That's why, I'm happy, but I'm also very disappointed because I was looking forward to I was hella looking forward to us having an easy victory today. Like I was on the couch just chilling, all happy, and all of a sudden they come back. But that was probably too long. I'm sorry, but I'm a cut it right there. Those are my thoughts. Thank you very much, Sim.
No problem, man. Appreciate your call, and I felt your passion and your pain. So I let you rock for a minute, man. Listen, if Leonard was here to tell you, I was saying the same thing. I said, Leonard, this game's supposed to bend over. And that's not me being cocky and saying, oh, we supposed to beat everybody. No, man. Think about how the offense was moving, like how we were picking dudes apart. Of course, the Broncos are going to stop you some, but they should not have even been in that game. When we went up, when we got, what was we at, 17 points, it was like 17. We should have blown the doors off of those dudes. And that ain't no disrespect to the Broncos, but like my man just said, listen, if you don't believe me, you heard him right there what he just said. Silly mental mistakes and coaching. Come on, guys. Like you said, that Hilton Blitz need to be pulled out your pocket at this point. You know what I mean? Around the league, y'all should already know when he's coming. So pull that out sometime. Because then we just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And I think it got to a point where it was leaving a vacancy in the defense. I don't know, man. But all right, guys, last one of the night. Area code 219. What you got for us?
Yo, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
Not good. I'm just gonna start it off. Number one, Phil's not going to the Super Bowl. I don't care if this is week 1, 2, or 3. This isn't no warm up. This isn't no team trying to get into the mix. This is literally the same stuff that we talk about year after year.
Yeah.
This isn't nothing. We go from a league, go conservative, and choke it. And this is before Randy, so I can't even blame him anymore. I got to see. This is before him. Who is this? Is this Tomlin? Are we supposed to start directing the blame to him?
Yeah.
Was Todd Haley really the wrong answer? Like, I don't know anymore. No, we can't hang with Baltimore right now. We can't hang with Kansas City no more. I'm lost for words right now. There is no reason why. Well, I'll take that back. There is a reason why we were supposed to not blow out Denver, because this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's all we do. We don't blow out teams. Maybe one time per year we may blow out a team. That's it. Every other time, it's a heart attack. But you know what? I'm cool. You have a good night.
Man, I appreciate that call. You know what? We're going to give you a round of applause. Let's throw a round of applause to him, man. Love it. Oh, man. And guys, make sure the round of applause plays. If somebody can confirm that for me, because I have it turned off in my ear, so it's not double. But if you can make, I'm going to run it again. I'm going to throw it again, and y'all confirm that y'all heard it. Round of applause. Yes, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hey, man, listen. I love that call. I loved all the calls, but I love when you get a call like that where, because, again, some fans don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Some fans are going to say, oh, we 2-0. We 2-0. Here we go. No, brother. Nah. No. We don't look like the dominant team right now. Okay? We just don't. And again, it's early, but where my man is correct, where 219 is correct, he said, this happens every year. He's right. So even if we can say we're off to a good start, it's still going to be moments that we're talking about right now that's probably going to pop up again. Can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing this. That's all I'm going to say, man. And like you said, maybe we got to start looking at Tomlin, man. Is he the overseer? I don't know, man. I don't know. But all right, man, let's read a few comments, man, and I'm going to head back over to father-in-law Leonard's house to eat dinner as well as watch, I guess, the second half of that Ravens game, see what's going on with them, and kind of scout the Texans a little something. See what y'all got really quick, man. Real Fact says, everybody wants us to draft a QB, but there are good starters in the league we can get as well. I agree and disagree. If we were to do that, I'd be cool with it. But I disagree in the fact that I think that the Steelers are going to probably try to draft franchise quarterback. I don't think they're going to look around the league. Just my thoughts. But I don't disagree with the theory. C. Antoine said, that's true. I've been rocking with the Heat thought. Okay, y'all talking about basketball. We ain't going to talk about that just a moment right now. Certified Sports says, you know what does, he said what? You know what does let happen every year, though? I think I know what he's saying. He said, you know what doesn't happen every year as we start in 2-0. That's true. That's true. But we still got to learn from our mistakes, man. If we don't do that, we in trouble. The Mexican Chicken said, I like that name. Sim, did anyone mention the Tomlin press oopsie? Nah. What are you referring to? After the game? What happened? If something happened, I didn't see it either, so let me know. Or is that the live mic situation that y'all talking about? I saw some of you guys saying, oops, live mic. So if that's what Mexican Chicken is talking about, what happened? I didn't see the post game because I came home really quick to get this started. So y'all let me know what happened. Eric McDuffie says, I'm going to agree that we're off to a good start, but it could be much better. There it is. There it is. I agree with that as well. Odessa Hall Menifee. Hello, Miss Odessa. I believe she's another female listener. I think I confirmed that before. So we always want to give them a more welcoming hello. Hello, Miss Odessa. How you doing? Let's read her comment. We had a lot of mistakes. We got to make the necessary corrections and get better. Competition is only going to get harder, but we have a good, solid young team. Good way to look at it, and I fully agree. We got to stiffen up, man. I would like to see us play December ball now. if most of you guys will understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Real G or Real Glee says, is everyone forgetting our Super Bowl years under Mike Tomlin? We won the Super Bowl from the wild card. These type of wins are always in a Super Bowl season. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Real Glee, but the other side of what we're saying is that there's consistent problems that we have on the staff when it comes to predictability and clock management and things like that, challenge, that we're tired of seeing that. That's all we're saying. Somebody said he's leaving. Who Tomlin said that? What happened? What did he do? I gotta go see it, man. I'm gonna go check it out when I get over to Leonard's. Reporter dropped an F-bomb. Okay. That's what's up. All right, let me get one or two more, man. Alexis Black said, put the pedal to the metal. Bingo. Not sure what's up with Justin Lane, Rel. I want to see some of these guys. Maybe not Lane just yet, but I do want to hear about him because, again, we keep saying Joe Hayden is older, guys, and, we might be seeing a slowed down Joe Hayden. Not hating on him, but, guys, he's plus 30, and he's a cornerback. It's time to see what else we got on the outside. At least get them some rotation. And I still want to know why Anthony McFarland was active today. What was the reason? And we didn't see it. Inform 80 says Tomlin doesn't make any good in-game adjustments. I won't say that. You know why I won't say that? Because remember last year, there was a lot of games where the defense would come out and say, look, Coach T went back to the playground and drew up a play right on the spot. So I'm not going to say he doesn't make adjustments. There's a lot of things that we don't know about the head coach that some of us guess at because of what it appears to be. Like I shared a piece with Kenyon and Tony when they showed Tomlin and, was mic'd up last week against the Giants. And, he really be saying some stuff on the sideline. He really be getting in them players. He be going at it. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say he doesn't make any in-game adjustment because I know he does. The problem is, I think as a whole, the coaching staffs get a little too lax in their plan. And the adjustments are far and few in between. That's the problem. That's the real problem. Last one. Sippy Boy says Tomlin is going to have a famous meme now after the reporter cursed at the press conference. Wait until you see his face. I can't wait, man. So y'all will hear me talk about it on Terrible Time. I'm sorry, let me read one more. Because my man Build His Life is saying something about McFarland. He says maybe McFarland was active. Maybe Connor was a game day decision with his ankle. Possible. Very possible. So we'll see. But all right, man, I'm going to get out of here. Again, I'm hungry. And I'm going to go spend some time with the family and with Leonard and watch the second half, man, and try to scout these Texans a little bit. We got the win. That's all we can ask for. We got the win. Hopefully we make the adjustments. But what I need you guys to do right there. Subscribe. Cut on your notifications. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you saw. Please do that. It helps me out tremendously. And for anybody who cares to donate after the call, obviously the show is over, so you can't do it here. I have options outside of YouTube, Cash App, PayPal in the description if you want to. Thank you in advance. Other than that, hope everybody has a great ending of the weekend. Enjoy some football tonight as well. I know I will be. And enjoy some football Monday night. And I'll be back at you guys on Tuesday to discuss a little bit of film. Speaking of which, last night I did the video. They haven't got me yet. So I think maybe the key is to keep it a small screen. So we'll try our hand again on Tuesday to see if we can show some footage. But all right, I'm out of here, guys. Y'all be safe, be blessed, have a good night, and thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.